Hello everyone and welcome back to the 5th installment of the Create Mod tutorial series. Now let's jump straight in. We're going to be looking at a variety of brass things, which you can see up here. And let's get started off with a review of how you make the brass ingots in the first place. You will need a mixer, a basin, a blaze burner, and then copper and zinc ingots you put in the basin, and some form of fuel to fuel the blaze burner. Afterwards it will gradually produce the brass ingots, and while that is... that's odd. Anyway, we can fix that with something we will look at now. The brass funnel, which I have showed in a previous episode. You'll need electron tubes, brass ingots, and dried kelp. It would help if I could type. The rest of the stuff we should have in here. We have redstone dust, quartz, and sandpaper, which, if you remember, we can make rose quartz, which, when put in your offhand, you can use sandpaper on. To get polished rose quartz. Now this we can use with iron sheets, which we get from iron ingots in a mechanical press. And let's have a look at the brass. For the brass funnel, to remember, we need electron tubes, brass ingots, dried kelp, which we can make there. Then I don't have a crafting thing set up for that, so let's use a regular crafting table. Electron tubes, brass ingots, and a dried kelp. Let's just make one to start with. And if we get ourselves a wrench as well, we can put this on there, rotate that, and set it so it only exports half a stack, which should, we can set it to 58. And we'll also need to add the filter of brass, which we can do like this. That should now make all the brass ingots until it's finished making them, and then it will deposit them onto the depot. Now that we have the brass making, we can look at the other brass things. We have the brass tunnel, which ultimately functions very similarly to the andesite one, although it has a... well, it's partially decorational, although it has a large number of additional filtering options. And then, if we look over here, we have the brass hand and the deployer. Now the brass hand you need 4 brass sheets, and we also need some andesite ingots, which I forgot to get any andesite, didn't I? Andesite alloy. And then you can make a brass hand if we squash 4 of that into sheets. We have that brass mixing. Still trying to mix for some reason. Oh, because it's double thing. Anyway, we take the 4 brass sheets there. We can craft them up like this, or we can just go over here and make ourselves a brass hand. Now with a brass hand and andesite casing, which if you remember you need any log that is stripped, and then apply andesite alloy, you can get yourself some andesite casing. Then we can use andesite casing, a brass hand, and an electron tube in this arrangement to make a deployer. Now these are very useful. They can do basically anything that the player can do to the block directly in front of them. Let's say we wanted to give it a stripped overlook log. We could then power it with a creative motor, and it will place that block. Let's say we wanted it to break the block. We could give it an axe, and then right-click on this with a wrench to set it to attack mode, and then it will start breaking it as if it were a player using the axe. Now, this does take durability, although only one, as it would to break the block normally. And we can move on to some of the additional brass things. We've seen the brass versions of the tunnels and the brass versions of the funnels. Now let's look at the pipes and chutes. Now these are almost the same as their regular counterparts. The brass chute, you need just a chute. And the brass pipe, you need a pipe. Then you need two more brass sheets, and you can make one with an electron tube. The electron tubes do get fairly expensive, especially as, well, quartz is renewable, redstone also kind of renewable, although you do need to set up a blaze farm if you want to do that method. But yes, you can get the smart chute and smart fluid pipe, which, if we head over here, I do have two other components which I will demonstrate with the smart chute. They are the smart observer, which takes the brass casing, which you make similarly to the andesite casing, and then the content observer, which you need a comparator for. For those of you who don't know, the comparators... Nope, not content observer, threshold switch. I keep forgetting that the content observer isn't a thing anymore. Yeah, comparator is just 3 stone along the bottom, 3 redstone torches, and nether quartz. Anyway, the brass is finished cooking. And if we look here, we have the observer and threshold switch, which I can demonstrate over here. Let's say we're putting items into this barrel. The threshold switch, you can set the upper and lower fullness, or how full you want it to be. Let's say we only want it to go up to 5% full, and then turn off again once it's completely empty. What we could do is take a stack of redstone lamps, and this is an interesting thing. The content observer, the smart observer, looks at a block like a regular observer does, and it does place facing you, and then it will output a redstone signal if the block matches what it's looking at in any way. Now this is a constant signal as opposed to a pulse like a regular observer, but that works if it doesn't work if you throw it on, but if I come over here and set the filter on this to redstone lamp, you'll see, if I remove the filter there and throw the oak log in, it doesn't give a pulse. However, if I set the filter to that, it doesn't go through, much like filtering with any of the other create mod things. But if I put a redstone lamp in, you'll see it gives an output while it's traveling down through the chute. And this, it currently doesn't show much, but if I put a full stack in, that will show that it has gone up slightly. I don't know if that's currently outputting a redstone signal, although there is another component that you can test. No, it's not. If we get a display... Why am I searching that? I suppose you can show the recipes. You can get the display link and display board. Now these are very useful items. Display link, you need a copper sheet, brass casing, and redstone torch. and DisplayBoard is just 2 andesite alloy and an electron tube for 2. We know how to craft all of that. If I take a small cogwheel and then put down some display boards here, then a cogwheel there, and power them, well no, I'll say powering them for later, but if I then click on there with the display link, and on here, first click sets the target, second click sets the thing it's reading from, you'll see here it shows container fill level. We can add a label and then percent. We can just put lamps there, and we can set it to line 1 or 4 or 3. Let's set it to line 3. Now this currently isn't updating, but if I put that there, it will. Okay, they do have a speed requirement. I assume it's 32? There we go, lamps 0%. And let's make this more simple with a hopper, because it has lower inventory space. If I put lamps in there, it'll go up and say lamps 20% because it's 1/5 full. And you'll notice, this thing, I set it up to 20%. And tick that. And then set it to the lower lane to 15. Or 10% even. This means if I were to take a chest and put it up there, this will output a signal. Now, useful thing about all of the brass components, I think possibly some of the andesite ones, although I'm not certain, is that if you power them, they turn off. So this is like a hopper. If you power it, it doesn't take items out of the chest. If I unpower it, it does. Now you can probably see where this is going. If I take the redstone lamps out of there, and connect the redstone line up to there, then we should see, maybe worth having a repeater, although we will test that. If we put a stack of redstone lamps in there, it will power this. Okay, it does do the full output strength. And then, I will put another lamp in, it doesn't take the lamp. And then if I take, how can I do this? Let's take half of them. You'll see there we have half a stack and 8. Now this is looking for 10%, so that would be half a stack total. If I take those out there, still nothing. Take those, still nothing. But at the moment it drops below 32, drops to 32, it unpowers this, and you get one taken out of the top. Now the smart observer can do more than just look at chutes, as I demonstrated. If you, let's say, is looking for the chute, it will tell you that there's a chute there. However, if I put down a depot, and then an item on the depot that matches, it will tell you that that's there. Same thing works with belts, and I believe it does something with trains, although there might be a separate thing for that, which I may cover in a bonus video later of stuff I haven't covered. But yeah, we have the display boards and display links, which you can use to show stuff. You can also, let's demonstrate the other feature of them, what we got them here. Let's say I want the number, but I want it on a different level. Let's say line 4, and I don't want it to say lamps, I just want it to give the percent, or let's say a progress bar. That shows 10% at the bottom there. You can right click to empty it, and let's say, oh that was loud, I want to put a full redstone lamps on the name tag. Now you can click anywhere, and admittedly it's not quite long enough there, but you can have it display there. And I believe the display links you can also have to read a name tag on a depot. Let me put that there. Combine item names. So if I put that there, it should show the item name. Yeah, it takes a while to update, but it does show the item name. Meaning, if I got another one, I mean, it doesn't even need to be a name tag. I could name the anvil Dave. And then if I put this on, it will display the item name, meaning you can use it to have a name sorting system. Now, while we're on the topic of display links, there is another thing, Nixie cubes, which work similarly. I don't think they need power, because I don't see any way to input rotational energy into them. But I just have 3 along there. And then I take this and take that off there. Oh wait, no, it did work, you see. It displays the name in letters there. You can also have it display numbers, and I believe you can dye them different colors. Okay, looks like you can only dye the whole thing, the thing as a whole. Although you can dye different lines on the thing. So if I were to take the name tag, like I delete it, and name this green, it's going to really annoy everyone. Anyway, we have looked at all of that. Let's delete all of this and look at the things I haven't covered yet on this list, which would be the sequence gear shift, the pulse extender and repeater, and the brass tunnel and funnel I will demonstrate, and then we will move on to precision mechanisms, every creative player's worst nightmare or favourite thing. Now let's say you want to put some things in this chest. Let's also get some dirt. And now we put the funnel there. The brass funnel takes a lot more items than the andesite funnel. It will take, I mean, I think on a belt they function the same, but a brass funnel will be able to pick up and deposit up to a full stack of items, selected by what do you want here. And that just allows you to pick exactly how many items are taken out at a time, which is what we did over there with the brass. And then if I rotate that, and we get another couple of belts coming off later on, what you can do is take a tunnel there, 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 and you'll see they all connect. So I put them this way, they will connect that way, but it won't function similarly. It won't function the same. We can see here there's a whole bunch of different settings. I'm not sure what synchronize input does. Randomize obviously randomly puts them between each one. Prefer nearest means it will only go out of this one first. Unless it's overflowing, then it will go out of the others. Forced round robin and round robin function pretty closely. It just means that it will do this one, then this one, then this one. However, regular round robin, if these two are full, it will do this one more. Forced round robin, it will do this one, and then this one, and then this one. And if any of them get blocked, it will wait for them to unblock and then do that one. Forced split and split, again, work pretty closely. I think it just takes a stack and splits them evenly between the three. 22, 43, yeah. So yeah, that will split them up. Let's say you want half of your diamonds to go over here. But you also put dirt in your sorting system for some reason. What you can do is set this to split, which it is, and then put diamonds and dirt in. And you'll see, they all come out this way, and they go half and half. However, you also get dirt in your diamond chest. What you can do is add a filter there, and that will make it only be diamonds. And you can have another filter here that's only dirt. Now let's say you want all of your dirt to go this way for some reason. What you can do is have a filter, and let's say you want all of your dirt to go this way. So you want none of your dirt to go this way. One method you can do is if I put dirt in the filter here, and then select deny list, that means, because this is on split rather than force split, it should take all of the dirt and send it this way. But if I do it here, it will take the diamonds, and they'll still go half and half. Or not. I think I know why that happened, and that's interesting, how it worked. If I take the diamonds again, it should go half and half, yes? No. Have I put a filter on there by accident? No. I don't understand why that's happening then. If only not diamonds, or if only not dirt's allowed there. What I could do is put dirt there, and would it only allow dirt out of that one? Yes. But if I take that off, it splits. That's odd. I suppose it's because I'm making everything that isn't dirt go through here. If I put that there, and that there, and that there, and the dirt. Now I'm confused, because some of the diamonds went that way. The diamonds I threw went that way, when this way was meant for not dirt. I suppose it's because the split makes them go because this way was full, it made them go that way or something, but that's interesting. Anyway, what we can also do, very useful if you're having a washing station. Let's say I got a fan and some water and started washing stuff over here, and then I have an output chest. What I can do is take an attribute filter. Let's say we are washing sand into the clay. What you can do is take an attribute filter and then have can be washed and put that here, and then take the can be washed and set it to opposite attribute, and that means only things that can be washed will go in, and only things that can no longer be washed will go out, meaning everything that goes in here that can be washed will not leave until it is completely washed. So that's how attribute filters work. And if I were to take like diamonds or something, you can do tags and stuff as well. Like if you wanted an automatic beacon payer, I don't think you can do that, but hypothetically if you could have the is tagged beacon payment items, or is gems or armor trims or something. Well, let's say you only wanted vanilla Minecraft items, you could do this. Whereas if you didn't want any create mod items, you could add the opposite attribute. And now only things that can't be washed and also weren't added by create go in. And you can just add them like that. Anyway, next up, the fluid pipes. Smart fluid pipe is fairly simple. Let's say I want water to go in, and I have a blaze burner, basin, and mixer. Let's just use this as an example. Now you need to have the fluid pipe, although as we discovered in the third episode, I think it was the fourth, the fluids don't appear to travel until they reach the end, meaning it probably doesn't matter where you have a fluid pipe, as long as there is no destination for a fluid. Or as long as there is a smart fluid pipe somewhere between the destination and the end goal. Because let's swap this around. Put that there. I think we can just put a hog there and it works. And then let's pump in some water as well, using a trick that I discovered when I was making a ridiculously small steam engine, but copper casing. And before anyone says anything, yes, I am aware that a YouTuber, I think Jojo the Awesome or something, used this in his own design. Wait a second, no, I did this in the tutorial as well. But yeah, if you... I mean, I demonstrated it in the tutorial there, but... let's just make an infinite water source here. And that will now draw once I give it water to take. What's the best way to do this? That goes there. Scuffed create mod stuff. Now that's not the best place because it gets picked up in the wrong area. Wait a second, I can just use another vertical gearbox. So we now have that flowing as well. You'll see water enters there. However, it's currently leaving and going into there. That's because we haven't set a filter. I think you can just use awkward potion. There. Now the water's stopped. See, it's empty. That is full. And now, if I were to throw in some nether wart, it won't mix currently because it doesn't have the blaze burner fueled, but if we get lava and fuel it under there, it will start brewing awkward potion, which you can then... apparently not. And there we go. So yeah, that's what the smart fluid pipe does. We have the pulse extender, pulse repeater. Those are things I haven't actually used that much. And the sequence gear shift. Now this is best to demonstrate with a bearing of some kind. Wall, staircase or something, I don't know what it's meant to be. But I think that should just work. Then we can put this on here, and it will just start turning. That's a big lag spike there. Or what we could do is have a sequence gear shift. And then we take a creative motor there. And you'll see it's currently not doing anything. If we open this, you'll see it has a thing. And we can make it turn to move a certain set of blocks, or we can have a delay or a new redstone pulse. So you'll see here we can have turning by a certain angle, a number of blocks for a piston, pulley or gantry carriage, which I will demonstrate shortly, a time delay awaiting a new redstone pulse, and just ending. Now let's start off with a 180-degree turn. Let's set it to input speed forwards. Then go timed delay of 3 seconds. Turn 90 degrees backwards. Oh no, what we can do is await a redstone pulse. And then timed delay 2 seconds. And turn double speed like that. I think there is a maximum length you can set these things, which is what I've just done. 5 total things, and then the end of the bottom. But if I put this here, you'll see I press the button, and it spins. And of course it does break the blocks. And then if I press it again, because you'll see it's still red when it's running actions, that includes awaiting a new redstone pulse, it'll go halfway around. And then the other half, quarter and the other quarter back again. So yeah, the sequence gear shift is very useful because it can turn stuff a certain amount, and we can kind of combine that with the pulse extender and pulse repeater, which these are the crafting recipes. it looks like it's literally just one more redstone torch. That's brass sheet, any stone. So let's get those. To be completely honest, I've never used these. I'm not sure what they do. So, time to learn. Now this, pulse repeater, I assume, takes a redstone pulse, charges up, and then outputs a... I assume that's a single pulse. I did the piston spitting out that blocks things, but it's a Java feature. Then I tried to connect it like in Bedrock. Yeah, so that's a single pulse like observers do. There's just a bunch of repeaters and an observer. Whereas if I wanted to do a pulse extender, I assume what this does. That would be 3 seconds. Yeah, it just holds the pulse for 3 seconds after it stopped being inputted. Meaning if I wanted a single pulse to go into that, I give any length of signal, and then 2 ticks is the lowest delay. Yeah, any length of signal, it will hold it for 3 seconds, pretty much. So yeah, that's those things, and yes, it does work with the other redstone component there. Now what you could do is get the redstone contact, which is another thing. It's just this iron sheet, redstone dust, 5 cobblestone for 2 of them. You'll see why you need 2. I guess some super glue. You'll see they light up like that. And then it spins back, and then continues like we programmed it to. So yeah, if we press this, it goes all the way around. And that won't do anything because of the delay, but we can get to the pulse repeater and then set it to like 3 seconds. And then we press this button. And then it gives the pulse afterwards. And then goes all the way back round. So yeah, that's the redstone components I create. I think that's all of them. I mean, there's this threshold switch which I showed, and some stuff. But yeah, now we can move on to the precision mechanisms, which are very useful indeed, and kind of annoying to make, which is why I set up a system here. You need cogwheels, large cogwheels, and iron nuggets. You start off with a gold sheet, which... why? Oh wait, I didn't, okay. Yeah, I chuck this on there. Let's just take 2 to start with. Then, not sure how I showed, but you can use hoppers to put things on belts. And then the way it works is, it will take the item, put it in, and this is just a loop using item vaults, which I think I showed. They're basically just really big chests. Each one can hold, I think, 20 stacks of an item. And you'll see there, it made 1 precision mechanism and 1 gold sheet. Now, this system, what it does is it will take an unfinished precision mechanism and put it back in here where it'll then get taken out. It's just fast transport. But if we look here, 20% chance of random salvage and 80% chance of a precision mechanism. And we can then put this back in. You can set up a filter for that. Okay, that failed again. Admittedly, I did a test run of like 20 of these by accident, and I got 17 of them, or 18 succeeded, which is a slightly higher success rate than you'd expect. 50% that was even 66% because 2 out of the 3 I did there. But anyway, once you've got yourself some precision mechanisms, there's a bunch of stuff you can make, like rotation speed controllers. Okay, let's just look at what precision mechanism can do. You can make that's the thing from another mod. You have the train controls and the mechanical arm, as well as the rotation speed controller. But this is what we need to look for. As automated mechanical crafting. Oh, that's another mod I have. That's just the mechanical crafter setup, but yeah, ultimately shape crafting is just those things. But yes, the mechanical crafting is what you want to look at, because we have this, a potato cannon, and an extendo grip. And also the Wonder Sim. I just realized I don't have the potato cannon thing. I will have to rectify that immediately. But yeah, extendo grip, very funny thing, which we got there. Same with the Wonder Symmetry. I do have the Wonder Symmetry ingredients here. Kind of. I just tried to craft the creative... Where'd that crafting table go? Now let's just get sticks. Well, if we look here, you'll see you need the... This doesn't even need sticks, that's why. You need glass of any kind, an ender pearl, precision mechanism, brass ingot, and obsidian. And I'm out of brass, aren't I? If I place... Now the way the system works as well, you'll notice it's the wrong shape. But if I put them in anyway... Brass there, obsidian, precision mechanism, ender pearl, and glass. I then get a button, or any redstone power source, and apply power. It will lock the thing and craft it anyway. This is useful if you have a system. And Wonder Symmetry, I will show what it does shortly. Let's make the extender grip and the potato cannon as well. Honestly, I don't even need to make them, I can show the recipes. Yeah, potato cannon is 3 pipes, precision mechanism, andesite alloy, and 2 copper ingots. And I'll get 2 of those for a reason, and extendo grip I'll also grab 2 of. These things are... I might need some potatoes actually. Let's go into survival mode. Now, this thing, extendo grip. You might notice something interesting. It allows you to reach further. And yes, it stacks. Now, it looks hilarious. If you have one in your offhand, it makes whatever you're holding just work further away. And there was one thing, if I remember correctly. And this had better still work. Well, there she is. Time to test the theory. Yes, I am about to punch the Ender Dragon. It works, trust me. I'm pretty sure this increases not only the damage of things, but also the knockback. And, as I mentioned, it stacks. Meaning... against a perch. There we go. Or not. This could take a while. I will edit ahead till when she finally approaches me. My OBS should... oh, there we go, she's approaching. Yes, it still works. Because of the ridiculous knockback, you can stop the Ender Dragon from ever perching. Admittedly, she does do a whole lot of damage with the fire. But yeah, it's kind of hilarious how you can just punch the Ender Dragon. Now let's switch back to creative. Not sure if you can punch her once she's perched. Oh yeah. Oh, but there are only channels where I control this. yeah, as you can see, it does decent damage, I think. This might be normal for punching. Although it does also take durability from the one you're holding, I think. Yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, I think my OBS Studio might be wrong, or I've just lost track of time. As apparently, I have been recording for 46 minutes, which I don't believe. Oh yeah, if we look over here, I have the potato cannons. Now, yes, you can hold one in your offhand. It makes a thwomping sound, and you can hold one in your main hand as well. And it has 15 reload ticks versus still 15. It's loaded with potatoes. But yeah, you can dual wield them and they go like 50% faster or something. Meaning we could potentially kill the Ender Dragon with potatoes. Although that's something for another episode. And oh, it's actually baked potatoes. And it's something. Yes, it does fire. That's pretty powerful. And yeah, those are fun. And let's show the other thing, the Wonder Symmetry. This best demonstration is going to be over here. I do this, put that there, and I think that's just default mode. It looks like it breaks them as well. Yeah, cool. If I... Oh, you can set it, so you can mirror the axis. I think it only works. It's very useful for building stuff quickly, and you notice it takes all the blocks. This means you run out of blocks very quickly. Which is why it works well with things like the toolbox. Which I also don't think I've shown, but evidently the video is getting way too long. So I should probably just not to do that in general. But yeah, Wonder Symmetry, very useful for building. Really cool appearance as well when you place it. And I think that is everything for this video. Yep, so thanks for watching, wish me luck with the editing, and I will see you in the next video, which is the stress unit generation. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!